right now on 10 News at 11.
Tomorrow, hundreds of quarantine family members are preparing to reunite with their loved ones.
There's a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement.
The final steps they'll take before returning to normal life.
A dangerous doorbell prank caught on camera.
We live in Southern California where fire is not a joke.
The hazards that could have turned a prank into disaster.
And the avocado industry is booming, but local farmers are struggling. They're battling a water crisis here while money-hungry cartels try to seize the market.
They're absolutely dangerous.
The violent fight over the prized fruit.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
A local father is just hours away from reuniting with his wife and two young children who have been in federal quarantine in Northern California.
The family evacuated Wuhan, China nearly 2 weeks ago because of the coronavirus outbreak and will be released from quarantine in the morning. Our 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo caught up with the San Diegans who are taking off to meet his wife in the morning.
And we've been following up with Ken Burnett since his family was still stuck in Wuhan, China. Tomorrow will be the day that he finally gets to reunite with them. Now, his plan is to take off here from Lindbergh Field just after 6 tomorrow morning, reunite with his wife and children, and travel back immediately to San Diego.
There's a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement. It's almost like before a big game or something like that.
Ken Burnett doesn't know if he'll get much sleep tonight, just hours before traveling to Sacramento to reunite with his wife, Yanjun Wei, son Rowan, and daughter Mia.
There's been some pretty low times, but now this is a high time, and I feel very grateful that it ended up like this.
Burnett's family was in Wuhan, China for the Lunar New Year when the city locked down because of the coronavirus. They evacuated Wuhan on a State Department chartered flight to Travis Air Force Base in Northern California. Tomorrow, they'll be released from their 14-day quarantine.
Just playing with them and just having them here. I just feel like there's something missing all the time.
Ken says everything is ready to welcome home his wife, hoping to let her rest after over 2 weeks of caring for their kids alone, while also trying to make it back home.
Doing laundry, trying to get the place in order. I got their car seats all cleaned and installed. Give her a little bit of a break, and then just whatever she needs, just go get it.
Quarantine is also ending for the first flight that arrived at MCAS Miramar. Evacuees will get breakfast, then appointments and temperature checks before getting bused to the airport. Also heading home, like Burnett's family, to reunite with their loved ones.
Hopefully I can get a good night's sleep, and then I can absorb some of their kids' energy.
Now, if everything goes according to schedule, the Burnett family will be back together and back here in San Diego by about 2 tomorrow afternoon. Reporting live from Lindbergh Field, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Laura, thank you. The number of deaths and cases due to the coronavirus continues to climb. The death toll worldwide is now up to nearly 2,000. The number of cases has surpassed 73,000, with the majority of those cases reported in mainland China. There are 15 cases here in the United States, including 2 in San Diego. Today, more Americans on a quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan. They were flown back to the United States. 14 passengers that tested positive for the virus. They were taken to hospitals in California and Nebraska. They are now in isolation.
These individuals were brought here because we have the personnel, we have the facilities, we have the resources and the expertise to handle these kind of individuals.
In the meantime, Apple is warning its investors that the outbreak will hurt its revenue because China has cut production of iPhones. And you can follow any developments surrounding the coronavirus by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
A grieving Claremont mother says the flu was the main factor in her teenage son's death. 19-year-old Brian Finette surprised his mom with flowers for her birthday Tuesday night. And hours later, he collapsed in the bathroom. Finette was rushed to the hospital, but was declared brain dead a few days later. His family made the tough decision to take him off life support.
Really, it's so hard to see my baby, it's gone.
Finette had no underlying conditions but tested positive for influenza B. Doctors say the flu spiked his blood sugar levels, causing him to collapse and stop breathing. Finette decided not to get a flu shot this season, despite usually getting them in the past. According to the most recent numbers from the county, nearly 60 San Diegans have died from the flu since August. The majority of them over the age of 60. Nearly all had an underlying condition. The county found half had gotten a flu shot, the other half had not. The county could release new numbers as early as tomorrow.
The Boy Scouts of America filed bankruptcy just hours ago. The youth organization's filing comes amid new wave of sex abuse lawsuits across several states, including those here in California. California's law, AB 215, took effect in January. It opens a 3-year window for victims to sue for damages previously barred by statutes of limitations. The Scouts' bankruptcy is not likely to affect local scouting activities, but will halt all ongoing lawsuits.
With just weeks to go before the primary election, the candidates for San Diego mayor are working to secure as many votes as possible. Tonight, they were out in La Jolla, meeting with people and answering questions. 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena shows us the one topic on many people's minds.
The community center here in La Jolla was packed tonight. The mayoral candidate forum bringing out way more people than expected.
All 6 candidates were on hand, each getting a chance to speak to the audience about who they are and why they're running.
Failed, and we have many other people that are tired of being failed.
No more taxes. San Diego is already so expensive.
I think all of us are frustrated by politicians that continually talk about the same issues over and over again.
We need to talk about salary increases again.
Because we already have parking in there, you'll beat downtown, we have public transportation.
We need to invest in affordable housing for seniors.
Tonight's event was organized by Save San Diego Neighborhoods, and a major topic of concern was short-term rentals.
I think it's a bigger problem that people don't really recognize all the consequences of it.
I think it's such a controversial subject as is, because there's so many pros, but there's so many cons. So how do you find a happy in between that works for everybody?
With such a large turnout, there was a long line of people waiting for their chance to ask a question to the candidates.
I am without income because I was an independent contractor, literally without income.
And while it only lasted about an hour and a half, the folks we talked to say they heard enough to help them figure out who they'll be voting for.
Well, I sort of made up my mind listening to the questions tonight.
The interesting local opinions kind of bring out a little different side of them.
I think everyone's really excited for what's to come, and I think San Diego has some really quality options, so I'm excited.
The California primary election is coming up on March 3rd. We're reporting in La Jolla. Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
Tomorrow is the last day to officially register to vote in the March primary, but if you missed the deadline, you can still vote conditionally and submit a provisional ballot until Election Day. Your last chance to request a mail-in ballot is February 25th. And like Lindsay just mentioned, the California primary is Tuesday, March 3rd.
Your voice, your vote. We are just 5 days out from the Nevada caucuses. The debate over health care is front and center as well. Nevada's powerful culinary workers union strongly opposes Medicare for all. The union says getting rid of private insurance would take away their hard-fought health insurance plans. It's one of the biggest challenges for Senator Bernie Sanders. Support for Medicare for all is at the heart of his candidacy. His rivals are trying to capitalize on the divide, hoping to slow his surge.
No one should be able to tell them they can no longer have that plan. And I'll be damned if we're going to erase the union's efforts.
Meantime, the candidates are all going after Mike Bloomberg, even though he's not even on the ballot in Nevada. They're accusing the billionaire of trying to buy his way into the presidency.
Fun is fun, but there are certain things that maybe in Southern California we don't get the luxury of lighting random stuff on fire around anything.
A warning from one mother tonight after her security camera caught a kid pulling a dangerous prank involving fireworks. She spoke with 10 News reporter Anthony Pura with a message to the prankster and his parents.
She says kids have egged her house in the past, even TP'd it, and she gets that kids will be kids, but this time she felt that they need to understand some actions can have serious consequences. This is video from Friday night. A kid lit fireworks and left it on the front porch of a San Marcos home, adding a new dimension to the